So this is Backpack Battles. It's a PvP inventory management auto battler. And one of the reasons I'm so into it is because it strikes that same chord that games like TFT do. The chord that perfectly balances your desire to compete and be competitive and improve, while also chilling out and relaxing. I'll get into the specifics in a sec, but let me briefly run through this game's history so far because I think its current trajectory has it set up for much more success than it's currently experiencing. The two significant moments for me was when the demo was released last year that found huge success on Steam and on Twitch, having multiple massive variety streamers trying it out, expanding the potential reach of the game to areas other than the Steam store. The second moment for Backpack Battles is now. It was released into early access recently on March 8th and immediately had a similar effect on Twitch like it did when the demo was released. Then, just 2 days after its early access release, Backpack Battles has sold 100,000 copies, which is seriously fantastic. So that's the foundation that Backpack Battles is working with, but there's another reason I think this game could exceed expectations. That reason being that there's only 3 to 6 months of early access development planned before the 1.0 release. That puts the game coming out this year. That is a very short amount of early access development time, but it gets me excited because the momentum it's been able to gain and the strength of its word of mouth aren't going to taper off that much over the next 3 to 6 months. By the time 1.0 comes around, people will still be thinking about or playing this game, and I think Backpack Battles is just revving up. I'm confident that 1.0 will be an even stronger moment for this game than its demo and early access period. But I could be dead wrong about all of that. That is, of course, all just speculation. What I am certain of, however, is how fantastic the product we already have is. And my confidence in this game's future is much more bound to its gameplay than anything else. So let me tell you about it. Backpack Battles is a foundationally simple game on the surface, with the depth and skill expression becoming more evident to you as you become more knowledgeable about the game, its systems, classes, and items. If you've ever played a game like Super Auto Pets or Teamfight Tactics or any other auto battler, then you'll be familiar with the gameplay presented. The difference here is that instead of units being purchased in positions, you're purchasing items and weapons from the store and arranging them in your backpack for maximum efficiency. Efficiency that includes your ability to deal damage, survive, and ultimately play to your class's strengths. When entering a round for the first time, you've got your class-specific bag that has its own unique attributes and buffs. Then you buy what you want from the shop, you rotate it, you slot it into your bag wherever it'll fit, and then you look for an opponent. Now, as I understand it, the game takes snapshots of different players' backpacks throughout their own game, and then gives you one of those snapshots to verse when you search for a game. The opponent snapshots you're versing are matched to where you're at in your current game. So in your first round, you'll be matched with a snapshot of another player's bag from their own first round. And obviously the game will then give you stronger snapshots as you become stronger and go longer into the game. I haven't experienced any egregious issues with this system yet. Very rarely do I verse a bag I think I shouldn't be versing. And even then, I have to ask myself, was that person just a better player than me? So who knows? And to be honest with you, while there is a ranking system, Backpack Battles is inherently less competitive than, say, Teamfight Tactics, or at least I don't take it nearly as seriously as I do my TFT games. But yeah, once your first round is over, you repeat the experience over and over until you get 10 wins and you've got 5 lives to do it. After that, you can risk your elo for even more elo if you just survive an extra few rounds, but nevertheless, that's the framework for a round of Backpack Battles. Okay, so let's talk about the inventory management side of things. Backpack Battles gamifies inventory management, a system that in many games is only given the attention required, plus maybe some nice quality of life if the devs are feeling generous. My opinion is that when a game puts the spotlight on and bases its entire loop around a certain mechanic, then that mechanic needs to be treated with the same respect that gunplay needs to be treated with in a first-person shooter. What I mean by that is that inventory management in Backpack Battles is what gunplay is to a first-person shooter, aka it's incredibly important, down to how it feels, looks, and sounds to rotate an item. That is the level of importance I place on details like that, and thankfully, Backpack Battles gets it right. The act of combining, managing, and perfecting your backpack is as rewarding as it is fun and charming. On top of that, the skill expression and attention to detail required to be good at managing your inventory is evident off the bat, and that's crucial for players looking for a game they can obtain mastery over, or players just looking to learn, improve, and have fun. Backpack Battles gives the sense that both goals are entirely achievable. I'd be foolish not to mention the arsenal available to you. This game's got a respectable amount of items available and even more items available for you to craft. In fact, a large influence on your power creep comes down to the combination of different items, ultimately sacrificing one item to forge another. Then there's the 4 different classes which determine your starting bag and a few unique item options, but the game really begins when at a certain point during your game you'll be given the option for a subclass. The shop opens up and you're presented with 5 choices that have powerful implications on what items you focus on and what can now show up in the shop. This is where real buildcraft comes into play, and utilizing the power of these items and trying to figure out where to slot them in plays a huge role in satisfying your inner competitor. And then yeah, as you improve your knowledge of item combinations and generally good layouts, and you get used to fitting certain items into your bag, it becomes a pretty compelling game to get better at, and it's very refreshing to be playing a PvP game like this at a time when it's got a solid player base to go up against and a bright future ahead of it. So I'm having a ton of fun with it, and I wanted to do my part in showing it off to the world, so I hope you've enjoyed. And yeah, I hope you've had a fantastic day, and yeah, I'll see you later.